but it always gave you a sense of feel of a competitive nature because not only the students, but the residents who live around the area, alumni, they love Purdue basketball, and it's for a reason because they've been successful over the years.
Yeah, Matt Painter averaging 20+ wins a year in now his 19th season here at Purdue. Let's go Boilers surround Xavier. There's a drive from Smith off a deflection. Lawyer tees up the post, and Zach Edey, the National Player of the Year, misses short on his opening shot.
And notice the double team. We're going to keep an eye on this as we watch this game from Xavier. Didn't come until Zach Edey placed the basketball on the deck.
And where will the double team come from as Abu Usman misses, the transfer from North Texas? Bunch of transfers here for Sean Miller in year 2 back at Xavier. Trey Kaufman-Renn off a knee injury a couple of years ago in the starting lineup now this year. And a miss for Purdue 0 for 2 early. Davion McKnight getting it into the lane, and then close range, Usman missed.
Yeah, well, guess what? Zach Edey was right there. Zach may not have gotten the shot, but he certainly influenced Usman in his concentration there.
Edey rolling to the rim with a power dribble. He just elbowed Usman out of the way and lipped it out.
A good defense so far by Usman inside by forcing Zach Edey to be a little bit more off balance offensively.
Here's Claude on the attack, and Desmond Claude, who in the first couple of games has averaged 18.5, has really come into his own very early this year.
But he's added upper body strength, and if we get a chance to replay that play that he just had, he took the contact, maintained a level of balance, and was able to finish over the top.
There's the help coming. Edey, so good at drawing fouls.
It may not seem like a lot.
We had so many veteran players around. Now he's going to get the feeling of what it's like when people key on him.
So what you're saying is that he's the #1 name on the scouting report.
He is.
It's a whole different connotation when you have that and responsibility to be that leader. I think he's up for the challenge.
You sense that as a player, though, right?
Oh, yeah, you know.
Here is Oliveri away to Namiksha. Gitas Namiksha on the drive. He missed it, and Edey wrestles the rebound away from Namiksha. I mean, like Octagon wrestles it away from him. Screen from Edey, gets a drive from Smith, and he scores.
And that play was all set up because of Zach Edey. When he drove down the lane, you couldn't help as much. That time, Braden Smith able to maintain his dribble and kiss it off the glass.
Desmond Claude ramming toward the lane, turning on Kaufman-Renn. He missed it, and the rebound one-handed for Kaufman-Renn. Purdue will run here. On the pitch to the wing, it's a 3 for Lance Jones. Seven straight for the Boilers, and that's the danger for Xavier. Good position by Usman against Edey. He buried him there.
He buried him, and that came off a make. But watch what you notice is the power dribble out, which cleared enough space for him to come over the top with the jump hook over Edey.
Zach Edey, who became a much better rim protector last year in his junior season for Purdue, sets up Lawyer for a jumper, and that's good off the curl. Davion McKnight gets his way into the lane, and he scores 3 straight years, All-Conference USA at Western Kentucky, as Sean Miller used the portal very well.
But again, that came off of, like Usman inside the jump hook. And that time that came off of a made basket. This is what Matt Painter said. This is going to be the quickest, fastest team we played of yet. I'm interested to see how we handle their speed.
Smith had deflected. He got caught midair, and Xavier on the flip trip quickly. It's a 3, and it's no good for Oliveri. Edey, a very willing screener. Smith somehow put that up and in over his shoulder. Usman driving on Edey. Oh, no, sir. Jones from long range.
The crowd was waiting for that. The block, and then Jones in transition. That time, Xavier able to dodge a bullet.
And a steal for Lawyer and Smith. Jaden Smith, Big Ten all-freshman team last year. Lawyer hits it into the post. Edey quickly. Smith is out there. He doesn't see the ball. It's Edey going to work. And he rimmed it out. Clean game, a fast game, a sleek game so far. McKnight was out of control. Namiksha for three. That's good for Edey Namiksha.
But the pace you talked about favors Xavier. Why? Because now they're able to attack this Purdue defense before they're set 3 times. We've seen it now with the quick push. They've been able to get some high-quality looks.
As you said, Matt Painter knows that's the challenge here for the Boilermakers. Hard drive, Oliveri, and we've got a foul call.
Missed a lot of the shots he's missed, over 4 right now.
Which is rare for him, at least early on this season, as Xavier makes a couple of changes. Trey Green is on an instant story, turns it over immediately, and Purdue coming the other direction. On the lob and the stop, and that was nasty. Camden Edey, who can really jump. Green for 3. No good. He's now 1 for 12 in his freshman year from 3. And a near turnover by Sasha Chani. Oh, now it's getting a little bit warm in here for Xavier.
And that's one thing for Xavier. Turnover is a turnover. When it's a live ball turnover, your defense in the front court and the back court is not going to be balanced. He understands what it means to value the basketball. It was a little miscommunicated, admitted, and when and where that can hurt you. And
a 10-point-a-game guy the first 2 games for Xavier. Laser of a hook pass from Jones for Edey, and that is his first make. Somehow that thing died on the rim tonight.
But you saw Edey. He was off of 1 foot, but he did show a little touch even though the ball carried him off the back of the rim.
Claude lost the basketball. Jones ahead of the fray, dropping it off. Edey off the spin. Halfway through the shot clock. Who wants to take the shot for Xavier? McKnight knocks it down, much needed for the transfer.
Beautiful movement. I don't know if you saw the subtleness with his left hand. He dipped inside of Edey, pushed him back, then he had an escape dribble to his right, and that allowed him to get that shot up and over the top. Too deep.
On the floor, and Edey, I think, always wants to play more minutes.
Well, when you're winning by 15, 20, 25 points, those minutes are going to be very limited, in particular in the second half, and that's been part of the, I'm not going to say frustration in the bad part, because Edey wants to play 34, 35, 36, 37, 15 minutes, you know what I mean?
I didn't think you were going to stop there. I thought we were going to overtime. Swain inside Chani. Oh, he hops through a reverse.
Patience on the pick and roll to take that extra dribble to stretch out the defense, and now that pocket pass becomes available.
From Slovenia, Chani, who played professionally over there, as here is a steal for Chani. McKnight. There's Trey Green, one-hander, got it for the tie for Xavier. We mentioned all the international players here for Xavier. Credit David Miller, by the way, the assistant, for doing a marvelous job of recruiting all over Europe. Sean Miller obviously had handed Lowry Markkanen, among others, at Arizona, and they've carried that over to Xavier. Ethan Morton with a hard cut. Out top for Gillis. 7 to shoot. Jones, long catapult. He missed it. And a rebound foul. We're going to stay here. It's on Xavier.
Because the communication a lot of times has to be verbal, because you don't understand each other's body language as a bit, because you haven't had enough games under your belt to kind of figure that out.
I would even say just the teaching style for Sean Miller shows how young of a team this is in terms of how much basketball they've played together. Right, kind of back to the basics a little bit there.
It has to be because now your game plan changed too with the absence of Zach Freemantle and also Jerome Hunter. The plays that you're normally going to run with those two guys in the game, they're going to react a little bit differently defensively, so you have to run those plays a little differently.
10 to shoot. There's the drive, and it's batted away, taken by Caleb First from behind. Jones breaks it down, gets it back, and Purdue will settle in off the screen from First. Jason Gillis, who's been a starter for this team, now coming off the bench this year. Ethan Morton had it knocked away, taken by Green, picking his pocket. Trey Green into First. Nice defense.
Yeah, took it too deep that time. A little pull-up, a little runner. You had one of your teammates trailing in the lane. I didn't get a chance to see who it was if it did come off. Important minutes for Purdue. The non-Edey minutes on the court are always critical to Purdue.
He's waiting to come in right now for the next whistle. Lance Jones rains it down. That's why he's here to shoot in part.
But also not just shoot, but take high-quality shots. That was off of a handoff. He was able to square up his feet, shoulders, a little high archer, and knock it in for two.
His 12th all-time in school history at Southern Illinois, over 1,500 points for the Salukis in Carbondale. Pull-up jumper for Swain is good. He's a highly thought-of recruit, a four-star recruit out of Columbus. You know anything about Columbus?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Familiar?
There's some really good golf courses in Columbus.
And a cigar bar or two, I'm sure. Jones has to gather, and that's batted away, shoved toward the sideline. It goes redirected into the backcourt, and they're going to call.
Do stymie the offense somewhat, and that's what you saw on that last play.
It's a timing issue, right?
Yep.
Turnover number 4 for the Boilermakers in the first 11 and change. Usman, dribble handoff for Claude. Desmond Claude, that's a really tough shot, and Kaufman-Wren rakes down the rebound.
Yeah, excellent defense that time by Ethan Morton by going over the screen, getting back and not giving up, and then contesting the shot.
Off the Edey screen, Braden Smith hands Purdue the lead. He's got 6. Starters back on for the Boilermakers. Missed 3 early in the clock for McKnight. Rebound for Usman. Claude met by Edey, and that does not go terribly well.
Edey.
Lawyer running hard into the lane, ends up on the ground, and Edey can't clear the rebound. I'm just glad with that shot of Matt Painter, we could get Chris Foreman some FaceTime down there. There's an easy 2 off the inbound. It goes for Smith. He's got 8.
Yeah, too easy, though. That pass, if you're guarding the inbounds, whether it's zone or not, that has to come out to the corner or back towards half court.
Down low, a little bit of a breakdown for 2. Usman.
Beautiful play design. That time you were able to shift Zach Edey, move him out the lane just enough to get Usman underneath. Smartly went to the opposite side of the rim, knowing that Edey was tracking right behind him for a block.
I know Purdue fans don't want to hear this, but Usman actually played 16 minutes against Purdue in that loss to North Texas. Specifically getting guys from Conference USA. Sule Boom from UTEP last year was huge for that Sweet 16 team.
And he likened Quincy Oliveri as a very similar product to Sule Boom. And that time, Zach Edey too deep, showing off the soft touch inside. But finding players that fit with experience has been something that Sean Miller wanted to identify coming into this year.
Namiksha misses. Tip on the rebound, and that was well done on the weak side. Ethan Morton was over there. Lawyer trailing, and knocking down a 3.
Purdue, which hence affected everything else they did. Those 2 young men had to live with that all summer. They're going to come back bigger and better than ever in order to avoid the same thing happening when tournament time comes back around.
You said it. They had to live with it. They had to sit with it, as Matt Painter talked about at shoot-around today. Here's a 3 for Swain. And they're going to tell him about that for a while.
The game has to slow down a bit in order for him to feel that more important.
And think about this. He turned 18 on July the 15th. So he was 17 a couple of months ago. Hard cut by Smith. And he finds his jumper anyway. Here comes Oliveri. In a hurry to pull up for three. No good. Into the corner it goes, and this is going to be out of bounds.
They want to play from the Purdue transition defense.
And that's why they have 4 offensive rebounds, in part, so far in the game for Xavier. Pass got a little squirrely off the hand of Desmond Claude. He gets it back. 5 to shoot. He's trailed by Colvin. Gives it up. Green, long range for 3. Trey Green, who came here to be a shooter, had not shot it well at all in the first 2 games, drills that.
But he had to think about that one, Jason. That one, the shot clock is running down. You come off a screen. Your backcourt partner kind of gives it to you when the shot clock is going down. You just let it go.
Isn't the psychology of shooting amazing?
Oh, it is, man. As quickly as it can come, it can go.
Lawyer got it to the corner, and that 3 goes in for Miles Colvin. He's 5 for 8 from 3 in his Purdue career. Roosevelt Colvin's son, the great Chicago Bear defensive player, a former Purdue Boilermaker. Johnny, a lot of dribbling. Oliveri traveled.
I guess what happened, the ball stayed on one side of the court. There are going to be early mistakes with this team that are elementary. Just because the team is unfamiliar with each other and this system. So it is going to take time, more important, patience. And that's great patience by swinging it back up top, allowing Zach Edey to get outstanding post position to finish that.
It is not hyperbole to say that's unguardable. What just happened?
You can go.
Now a takeaway. And Purdue will scoot. And we got a foul going the other way. I believe it's going to be Kaufman-Renn. It is. And you talk about one of the greats of all time, Big Dog Glenn Robinson. I know you marveled at what he could do.
Unbelievable talent, unbelievable belief in himself. I mean, Coach Katie allowed Glenn to be Glenn, and he lit the Big Ten up. My goodness. Michael Finley wasn't a bad prospect either, though, at the time at Wisconsin.
Hey, when you're in Big Ten arenas, you just feel the basketball history, don't you?
No, you do. You do. And I got a chance to play in the old arenas. So, Fieldhouse, Wisconsin, I think it was.
His Lawyer dancing with the dribble, has to give it up for Smith. Edey, the screen, just wiped away Claude from the planet for a moment. And here is Claude with the rebound coming the other way. This is a 4-on-2 for Xavier. They get a 3 for Green, and that's good. Trey Green starting to feel some confidence.
And that's basketball. That was a 4-on-2 fast break with an opportunity to get a layup. But what Xavier got out of it, because they practiced it, they ran to the three-point line, and Trey Green, because he was able to knock in one before, stepped up there confidently and knocked in the one in transition right there.
And now he just crowded Lawyer and forced him to give up the ball. There is Edey, who had it knocked away to the end line. Beautiful hands by Oliveri.
And that's why you come on the dip when the ball is on the ground against Zach Edey. You get 1 or 2 of those.
Claude wanted to go right badly, and now he'll have to find Green. Xavier hanging around Trey Green down the lane on the drop-off, and that is 2 for Kachi Enze, the freshman from the state of Pennsylvania.
But that's excellent patience, too. Patience by Trey Green to allow the pick and roll to work to draw in Zach Edey.
Smith, no. Enze the rebound. Xavier has put together 5 quick points. Claude the trailer, got the flyby, didn't take the shot. Green, no. Aren't you glad college basketball's back?
I am, and at a high level too. I love these, the Gavin games in Chicago, the games where you're playing out of conference against high-level competition.
He's getting better too. I mean, he was the National Player of the Year, and he had a whole offseason to improve.
He's not subject to coming out on the court as much, and he can lay back. That's the beauty of having that type of perimeter shooting, or the threat of perimeter shooting.
Claude lost the ball. Mason Gillis for Smith. You know what I think we should do, just as a Fox group? We got a lane violation here. It's going the other way. Yeah, no.
Nothing.
I'm being selfless by letting you do it, is what's happening here. Yeah, and you guys are former players, right? Oh, boy. Edey bats that away from Green. That's his third block already. Oliveri. That's a ridiculously tough shot.
No, that's tough. That's tough. Another shot you want to put back in the holster right now, because when you're down 5 points, you get a good one there. They cut to this lead, and now good teams make you pay a little bit. That time got away with it.
Off the Edey screen, the miss for Smith. And so now McKnight and Xavier within 5, hanging around. McKnight missed it. One-handed rebound for Mason Gillis. He got his degree in 3 years, by the way, here at Purdue. Could be the final possession of half number 1 at Mackey Arena. Pitch into the corner from Smith. And it's good. Second one for Colvin.
You know, now you cut into this lead, but I did think that Purdue did an excellent job of finishing out that first half, defensively and offensively.
They made their last 3 threes. Purdue 4 for 8. They were 1 for 5 to open the game, as that's a misfire from Claude. Strong first half from Braden Smith for Purdue.
Under control, right?
12, yeah.
Under control.
Lawyer on the kick out from Edey. Xavier in a real hurry. McKnight spins it into the corner. Got an open look, and that won't go down for Oliveri.
Braden Smith in retention to Xavier for another offensive possession.
Steal for Lawyer. Looking behind him, he knows he has Smith. He's going to take it himself and score hard off the window. Into the post it goes, Usman. Wheeling against Edey, and he just crawled it over the rim.
Excellent footwork that time, and Usman able to create a little contact in space, get that left jump hook off over the outstretched arms of Zach Edey.
Usman from Brooklyn by way of North Texas, and he's going to have to deal with Edey here. Just
right now the ball is getting too easy.
The dribble?
Well, I don't think from a Purdue perspective, you look at the quickness on the perimeter of Xavier, I don't think that's a challenge for them to keep their primary offensive player in front of them.
Lead is 10 for Purdue, trying to get to 3-0. Before they head off to the Maui Invitational. Namiksha for 2.
I like it. Great movement. The ball shifted from right to left, back to left in the corner. Namiksha was able to string out that pick and roll or dribble handoff, and knowing Zach Edey wasn't going to relocate outside the lane.
Edey rolling to the rim. 2 and a foul somehow, some way.
Eyes up to finish it off the backboard and now complete that three-point play.
That's 13 for Edey of the 44 for the Boilermakers. McKnight pull up for 2.
Off the free throw. Now, Braden Smith has to be smarter. You can't attempt that steal in the front court like that, in the back court like that. Now you give up space, and that time McKnight was able to take advantage of it.
feed the post. Edey against Chani. Extra pass mishandled. There was a hard pass into the corner. Lawyer off the flyby. Missed it for three. Got his own rebound and scored. He watched that the whole way, Jimmy.
A shooter understands and knows if he's short where it's coming off at. Excellent job of Fletcher Lawyer staying with that.
Honor.usvets.org/FoxForward to donate and learn how you can help end veteran homelessness. Out of the timeout, Xavier with the ball. Sean Miller, some changes to the lineup. Trey Green in. Desmond clawed the pole for two with his foot over the line.
And smart timeout by Sean Miller. The league was going to creep over a little bit. He wanted to keep it under 10. He was able to get Trey Green in the lineup, settle his troops a little bit. Excellent out-of-bounds play coming out that timeout to score.
Nice knock away by Chani there. Redirected to Smith. Sean Miller's so good at out-of-bounds plays, out of timeouts. Lance Jones to the rim. It dangled there for a while on the rebound for Chani.
I tell you what, Xavier's doing an excellent job of keeping the body on Zach Edey in order to keep the ball out of his hands.
Sean Miller very aware, armed with Edey's offensive rebounding stats at shoot-around this morning. That's a wide-open look for Namiksha, and it's an air ball. Smith rides it into the front court. A Lawyer for three. Back tap by Edey.
Speaking of which, right? He said, Jimmy, be quiet. What are you talking about? That time he don't have to give us coordinate that with the new TV company ESPN that didn't have a track record. I mean, that said something. But both complimented each other, because that's how I learned and appreciated Big East basketball, was watching it 79-80 on ESPN. And that was all Dave Gavitt.
Namiksha for two. Sad to see the Gavitt games going away.
It is, but they played tribute enough so people that didn't have awareness before understood the value of what he brought to the table. It'll be something else that is going to be able to be conjured up between these two leagues.
Great to see Dan Gavitt here, by the way. Yes. Stopped by the table before the game. A wonderful guy. There's a three for Green. That would have been huge for Xavier. Instead, it's Jones on the attack, hopping through. Goodness, great.
What that is defensive discipline from this perspective, not bailing your opponent out by going for steal and reaches and things like that. Playing solid individual defense first, and then outstanding help and team and positional defense where you don't just commit fouls, and as we say it, they commit the foul. No, I wasn't that close to the side, though.
Okay.
So
I didn't know if it was like quiet once and you heard.
Oh, no, it was quiet in some arenas. I was just trust me.
You made
early in my Dallas years, buddy. Oh, beautiful move.
That's Claude to the rim.
And I like to see Claude kind of use that body, get downhill a little bit more, explore off the dribble. Again, he played point guard in high school, so he's accustomed to creating and seeing some gaps off the bounce.
Born in Syracuse, went to prep school in Connecticut. Desmond Claude has Xavier within 6. Jones right down the zipper of the lane, and he draws 2 free throws.
Going well. When it's not going well, you got to be full-time only when it's catered towards them.
When it's convenient.
And it's convenient, but that's not what being the #1 option is.
There's a learning curve to it, right?
It has to be, yes. Especially at this level. Beautiful.
That's Chani, rim run, and it's a goaltend.
It's just an easy read and react. Chani to get downhill and finish that inside.
One of 4 international players on the roster there, still without Lazar Djokovic, as first will go to the free throw line.
A late season to a key player just kills you.
Yeah.
Because you don't have time, you don't have practice time, enough games to overcome that.
Case in point, Chucky Hepburn a couple years ago for Wisconsin in the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
They just had no chance of recovering from that in tournament mode. Namiksha got it for 3. Gaitis Namiksha buries one, and here comes Xavier again.
The beautiful thing about that shot, Namiksha shot an air ball in the corner early in transition. Didn't think about it on that occasion. Just like shooting practice, line it up and let it go.
Impressive response by Xavier. Jones had it taken away by Chani. Trey Green in a hurry, going downhill, nearly traveled. The crowd in that corner wanted it. Namiksha missed it. That was awkward the whole way. It was almost like, well, I made the last one, I might as well. Smith the other way, got it for two. You can almost see that coming for Purdue off the miss by Namiksha.
I tell you what, Braden Smith is so calm when he runs his pick and roll, and he gets to a spot and able to pull up for the nice little 10, 15-foot jump shot.
Namiksha, too strong.
Nice shot.
No, he's not.
It's not shot whatsoever.
He actually has 2 years of eligibility left after playing in Lithuania, and Smith now starting to boil. And so is the crowd. McKnight the skip into the corner. That's a rainbow. That's not going to go down. We got a foul. Trey Green, the miss, and a foul against Purdue. From here in the crowd, right?
Guarding, yeah, right?
Gardening.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. On the drive, Oliveri with a floater for two. Tell you what, really impressed by Xavier. You said it, undermanned, but sticking around.
Kind of running the game plan, do a better job of not turning the basketball over, which allows your offense to be able to get some looks at the rim.
Caleb first. 4-3. Versatile player, Caleb first. He can play Buddy the Elf in social media videos and knock down threes all at the same time as that goes in for McKnight and Xavier. And we have a timeout on the floor.
In this young man's game, and I talked to him before the game, I said, what did you work on this summer? He said, becoming a better leader.
First of all, to have the wherewithal to know to do that is impressive after a freshman year. 12, 6, and 5 for him so far. 6 rebounds.
Look yourself in the mirror. Understand what you have to get better at.
Right, for Purdue, and I'm not the first person saying this, but it's true.
Those players have come back. It's different if those guys have left. That feeling is still in the locker room. Another good play that time off of excellent movement by Xavier to get that shot.
Oliveri gets a nice bounce.
I like it. Every time Purdue seems to stretch it out a little bit, Xavier finds a way to assign me that momentum a little bit.
Lawyer banging in the lane, missed it, rebound out of bounds. It's going to be Xavier basketball.
That's the only way.
It was close. Claude couldn't find a shot. Morton tailed him all the way. Davion McKnight against Smith. Step back, Jay. No, sir. Rebound for first. Big hurry. Down the lane, Smith. Kick out, Morton. Yes! Claude pinned at the lane, wants it back. Fake the three, drove by Edey, got a chance at a floater. Rebound first. Braden Smith eyes up. Morton on the drive, met by Claude. Smith for Edey, clockwork for Purdue. And a foul against the Boilermakers.
Work on it in practice so much, you know you're going to have a trailer. Now, who that trailer may be, you don't know. But you know personnel on the floor, and you know that Ethan Morton is going to be a trail guy a lot of the times.
Oh boy, Oliveri had it pancaked, and this will be Purdue basketball. That was a late night snack for Zach Edey.
But what's been consistent the last 3 defensive possessions? excellent communication, first and foremost, by the Boilermakers. The rotations have been there, and then the individual defensive stance has been there. Zach going to the left shoulder once again, but Usman able to knock it away from the crowd again.
The second reaction is always worse than the first. We have learned here tonight. Who says the sequel's never better? That floater won't go for Swain. Xavier's right on the edge right now of losing its grip of closeness.
And the question is for Xavier, who do you go to get a much-needed basket? And that has to be Desmond Claude. You would think in this situation.
Edey creates 2 free throws for himself. If that's Usman, it's 5, and yeah, he's done. Because you have to leave.
You got to leave. You're going to end up picking up contact fouls. And that's what happened probably on a couple of his 5 fouls. Was just sheer physical contact, sometimes away from the ball, sometimes on the ball.
And Edey's been great in the foul line while he's at it. 6 for 7 from the line so far tonight. Trey Green cannot extract himself from Jones. He chased him the whole way, even around Johnny. Swain with 5. Great defensive possession, Purdue. I mean, great. It's a long jumper that sinks it, though, for Claude.
2 things can be read at the same time. Excellent individual defense by Purdue, but outstanding patience and shot making that time by Desmond Claude at the end of that shot clock. Here go to run.
And a great read by Swain. He's to the rim for a stuff.
Oh, he wanted the foul as well. It could have easily been a foul on Miles Colvin. And just when, again, Purdue starts to pull away, Xavier figures out a way to get, oh, beautiful.
Duck! Green chucks it. Edey the rebound.
Probably a little bit too quick that time. Trey Green on the trigger. And right now, a little 2-3 zone extended a little bit more by Xavier.
First and Edey in the same place. Purdue running the bunch formation. Colvin, his third 3. Greeted by Jones and a foul called no shot. They'll wave off the shot. We know that you have a way you lean in that rivalry. We get it.
You think?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Way to set me up.
I hope you and I get Ohio State, Michigan in basketball later this year. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Xavier trying to remain in contact in this game. Swain, Nemiksha thought about the 3, didn't take it. McKnight ends up with it and rims it out. That's Nemiksha flying in. Somehow that wouldn't fall. That's like one of those carnival games you're not supposed to win.
But Xavier did everything correct. They were patient. The ball went from the right side to the left side. You got a wide open shot. You got 2 tips at the rim. Unfortunately, the Bills just would not go through the nets. That block.
Edey,
that block.
Burying Johnny. Couldn't make it, though, on the rebound, Claude. Claude wants it. Here he goes. Down went Jones. Claude wraps it around and scores.
Well, for Xavier, when you get it by the 2.5-minute mark, down under 7 points. You know, by that point, you got an opportunity to get some stops here. Give yourself a chance, but that's just beautiful basketball right there.
Johnny's putting his hands up as if to say, I did everything I could. How about this? How did this not fall?
See, this is how unlucky you are when you play right here. You just can't buy a basket.
I mean, that's one of those you're looking, and you know, you're like, I want that stuffed teddy bear, right?
And you just can't.
You can't get it.
No.
It's not going to happen. The old claw machine, right?
It was all set up. Those carnival games all set up.
Yeah, the ring never goes around the milk bottle.
But it's great when you have kids and keep them occupied. I tell you, it's worth all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Keep them occupied.
Oh, look, yeah. Honestly.
Just go play.
Here you go. Whatever. Play 100 times.
That's right. This, too, I think this is where Zach Edey improves. When I played with Yao Ming, Yao shot high 70s, low 80s from the line. And what that means is that teams, he makes them pay when they foul him. He's at 71%, but he has a nice enough stroke that he can inch that up even a little bit higher.
Yeah, it adds value, right?
Big time, because especially in late game situations when he's going to have touches deep, you want to feel confident, coaching staff, that you can go to him, that he can convert, also his teammates, because they're more willing to give him the rock in late game situations, knowing that he can step to the line and complete the play.
Smith called for that foul, by the way. Did you see Braden Smith went like a quarter of the front court like he was on a slip and slide during that possession, got up, committed a foul, and he's no worse for the wear, it looks like.
He's a competitor.
For Burn City. Jones in the pocket of Claude. Lance Jones, a tremendous reputation as a defensive player in the Missouri Valley for Southern Illinois. Claude, late shot clock. Oh, wow!
Carnival off the glass. It doesn't matter how it goes in, it goes in. There's a big-time basket that time by Desmond. An outstanding defense by Lance Jones.
That was a needed it basket for Xavier.
Can you bring that back and get the stop you need right now? Almost with a steal.
That was a tough catch for Edey. He goes back to work and misses.
Well, that right block brought the ball down. Not as comfortable.
Xavier a little sped up here. Enze for McKnight. That won't go. Edey flashes in for the rebound. Smith on the attack. Bounce pass taken away. Swain slams it down. It's a 9-point game.
Well, he said it. You know, Sean Miller, this Xavier team is not going anywhere. And the zone defense paying some dividends a little bit here for this run.
Cross lane pass from Edey and got it there for Mason Gillis. What a find. Crowd wants to travel. Matt Painter wants to travel. He's going to get his turnover.
Because that offense operates at a different level, Marquette being, when he's out there running it.
Shaka Smart, you talk about teams with a lot back. Marquette has a ton back from last year. Omax is gone. Basically, everybody else returned.
Yeah, and Cam Jones is kind of taking it to another level right now in regards to his scoring.
Great night tonight for Braden Smith. He wants Gillis to take the three, and Mason Gillis rims it out. Down to the ground it goes, and let's see, we're going to get travel. Yeah, we are. 2 years ago, he was a 41% three-point shooter. Very good shooter. We'll see what kind of opportunities he has as Edey just absolutely buried another defender.
And that's from underneath out of bounds. He was able to catch, receive right at the rim. Oh,
kind of a catch receive. That was tough for Enze.
Enze just couldn't grab it inside. A good play, good throw. Just couldn't control it up top. Another. He was going to slow it down, chalk to the shot clock a little bit.
Lead is 13 under 2 minutes. Edey going to town again. Too strong. Xavier has to hustle. It's Swain banging into Lawyer, a scary NCAA tournament team.
And not bailing out your opponent when you play really good defense for 24, 25 seconds in the shot clock.
So good luck to them on that. That might be the most difficult challenge they have. We're talking about the Gavitt games and them ending.
you know, some natural rivalries, but also some conference rivalries. It gets some of the best teams in the country who normally wouldn't play each other to compete at an early stage of the season. But it also gives each team an awareness of where they're at and actually where they have to grow into as the season kind of moves along.
Down to 7 to shoot for Xavier. That's Swain. And that's a good three-point jumper for Swain in a timeout. Just tremendous people and great hearts out there, and we're thinking about you. As out of the timeout, Purdue has it. The lead is 11 with 80 seconds to go. But that will be a major learning experience for Purdue with that schedule coming up in Hawaii. Lawyer hemmed in right at the midline, gave it up for Jones. 7 to shoot. On the drive, tunneling into the lane, stepping through, tough angle, no, but Edey's there, clean up on aisle 15.
Eventually, Edey was going to find his way to the offensive glass, and that time, excellent job of not creating any contact for an offensive foul and able to put it back in.
26 tonight for Zach Edey and the Purdue Boilermakers. Near foul jumper for Green is down. Trey Green for 2.
Xavier team quite well for battle they have to do in the Big East.
And you know the way Sean Miller coaches, any mistake that's here now, it's just not going to be there in February. Well, that's the plan. Edey down low. Why not get out the laminator one more time? Just in case you were wondering who was in charge of the deed of Mackey Arena, all the students are letting you know. They usually very businesslike Zach Edey on the floor.
Well, sometimes it's hard to enjoy it in the moment. Some young men's personalities, they keep a smile on their face. Some are more reserved, but it is good to see when a player like Zach Edey that carries the world on his shoulders has time to enjoy the moment. There it is.
This place is just another planet.
You'd have thought that Purdue was down.
Yes. Yes.
The way the student section was acting.
They were not down much today. 83-71. Purdue beats Xavier. Jim, your final thoughts?
Purdue did an excellent job when they needed to lock in defensively, getting stops. Not